All right, we got to rewind back to last season.
Okay.
Because you said when Jimmy Butler came here, he made things better. But it was this season, right? The next season, we're having him in training camp, means maybe you guys would be more likely to win the championship. Did I summarize that correctly?
That's a great summary.
Okay.
That's exactly how I see it. You get to go through a training camp. You get to learn terminology. Last year, Jimmy didn't know any of our defensive terminology. Due to the time and we needed to win games, we weren't able to expand the playbook. And not because Jimmy's not smart enough to pick it up, you just really didn't have the time to mess around with anything. So the moment you found something that worked, you just had to go to that. And in turn, it didn't allow us to create variety, right? Like the variety of things that you can create with Jimmy and Steph and myself and different guys. We didn't have the opportunity to do that because we just needed to win games to try to give ourselves a chance. Having a training camp this year, it'll be different because you can build from the ground up. And I think for us, that's a little dangerous for others.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy did all that without knowing the names of things, the names of plays. Like, what kind of player do you have to be up here to get it that quickly?
He's smart. He's super smart. Mm-hmm. And he's not just that smart in basketball, but his brain is like a computer, a calculator or something. Like, even if you ever see him play dominoes, the way he can count and see, it's unbelievable. But that's how he is on a basketball court. And so it takes a very special mind to be able to do that and still see and understand, say the things that he want to say and get them across and help people understand without knowing how they process things. It takes a special guy, but he's special.
Jimmy said at his house in San Diego, Batman and Robin won a dominoes. That's him and Steph.
You should ask them. Number one, me and Ernie beat them. And then we played them again, and they won. Then we played them again, and we won. So technically, Batman and Robin lost, and Superman came up out the booth.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what happened.
I didn't know that Steph didn't know dominoes that well, that he was under the wing of Jimmy Butler.
He was definitely under the wing of Jimmy, but Aisha's Jamaican, and we're playing the Caribbean way. We weren't playing the way that you count. We're playing the Caribbean way. Aisha's Jamaican, so Steph's going to lay in the weeds and act like he don't know and like do the whole thing, and then he's just play after play after play. So miss me with that. He know.
Okay. What was it like for Jimmy to even want to gather people at his home, to invite everybody in his home, to have a little players only kind of event?
The ultimate show of love and respect is to invite someone in your home. That's your most sacred space. That's the only place in the world where like you can be you can do whatever you want to do, and it's okay. That's your home, right? And like for him to open his home up to us, I stayed at his house. Everybody else went to the hotel. That was one of the best hotels in the world I ever stayed at. That was great. But, it's who Jimmy is, though. Like, he's an incredible teammate. And to gather us all there in a space where he knew would keep us all like this and kind of offer everything that you needed to offer. Big Face coffee shop, like everything you could imagine. We had some of the best pizza in the world there. He was an incredible host. But it really meant a lot for him to open his home up to us. And I'll tell you what, I can't wait to go back. Because that wine cellar, I felt like I was in France somewhere, in Bordeaux, at the wine cellar of one of the wineries. It was amazing.
It's got to take a lot to impress you with wine.
Listen, I call one of my big bro who taught me wine and who I know, like, he got a collection, and he was stunned. Like, as soon as I walked in, I FaceTimed, like, you got to see this. And he was stunned. He texted me back hours later. He said, I've thought about it. It's the best personal wine collection I've ever seen.
Who's your guy?
Maverick Carter.
Okay.
And Maverick knows wine like nobody's tomorrow, and Maverick has a collection. And he said, I've never seen a personal wine collection like that. Damn. That says, me saying that is one thing. Maverick saying that, Maverick knows everyone in the world. Like, it is impressive.
You trained with Jimmy in the offseason. Why do you guys get along so well?
We have a lot of mutual interests. We're a lot alike. We are both the caregiver of people. And I think when you meet someone that's trying to give you the care that you give others, it just hits home. We're both great at dominoes, so that helps. We both love wine. Like we both love to travel. We share a lot of mutual interests.
Well, there's the competitive nature too. You're talking about the personal stuff, but
the personal stuff is so much more important than the competitive. When you can get along with a person, it's way easier to get along with a person. I mean, it's way easier to adjust to someone on the basketball court than it is to get along with a person, you know. And on the basketball court, he's smart as hell. And I like to think I know a few things. And so,
come on.
We try. I feel like we both make it easy to play with each other, but it's easy to understand each other. Like we speak each other's language. I think we see some of the same things, and yet we see them differently. But yet there is that love and respect that, okay, you saw it that way, I'm going to see it that way too. You know, because I trust you.
Yeah. You're entering your 14th NBA season. Do you ever sit with that and what it takes to make it in this league for so long?
It's special. Entering year 14. A few of my friends, they always call me the day before training camp, and they called me yesterday, year 14. Like, wow. And it almost brings me to tears. Like, man, I remember them calling me saying year 4.
Yeah.
To still have the same friends that's calling and saying year 14, I'm blessed. But then also, when I sit and I think about the journey and what it's taken and how a couple times it falling off the cliff, but how to know how to straighten it back out and climb right back. Resilience and will. Like, you gotta want to do this for 14 years. Like, if you don't want this, it don't happen for 14 years, you know. And so, and then obviously very thankful and grateful for great health, because that, you know, some people do want 14 years and their body don't give it to them. I'm honored and blessed and thankful for great health.
I got to talk to Steve today, and again, he called Steph Curry the solar system of everything that Golden State does. And there's so much talk about making sure to capitalize on Steph's greatness while you can, get Steph a 5th ring. But wait a minute, that would be your 5th ring as well. In this narrative of Steph, one of the greatest players of all time, do you ever feel like your role in this becomes a footnote or a side note? Because that would be number 5 for you too.
I don't think there's any bigger Steph fan than me. I don't think there's any bigger supporter. I don't think there's any bigger believer. I don't think there's anyone that will gracefully take a back seat to that and enjoy it. So, no, I never feel that. And in large part, probably because he would never let me feel that. You know, so everybody else can say what they say, and that's fine. But I know how he feels. And as long as I know how the man feels, that's good enough for me. You know, I know the love and support and appreciation that he has for me. If I'm not appreciated by one other person, what other one really matters if he does? And so, no, I never, ever feel that.
Good. With Al Horford joining this team, and likely stepping into a starting center role, how does that help you take away some of those bruising minutes on your body and give you some help?
Thank God for Al. You know, the 5 can be a tough position. When you're playing the 5, you're in every action. Like, even if you're not trying to be, because you are the last line. Like, you have to anchor everything. And you have to hold it down, right? Like, as the 5, if you can't hold it down, your team get run over, right? And so you have to, like, put yourself into everything. And so you never really get a break. Like, there's other spots on the court where you can like pick and choose your spots and get a break. At the 5, you can't. And so you couple that with like battling guys who outweigh me by 60 to 80 pounds that probably it got me by 5 to 7, 8 inches, sometimes more. It's tough. But like, I didn't sign up for the easy way. My path has never been the easy way. So I don't think anything of it when I'm in it. You know, when you're not in it, you think about it like, man, that was tough. But when I'm in it, bring them on. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So my grandmother taught me that as a little boy. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So line them up, put them down. That's what we do.
Will you remind Al about who won the championship in 2022?
Absolutely not. No chance. No, not necessary. Al's a champion. It's unfortunate for him. He had to play the Dubs. But no, it won't be no reminders for me. I'm excited to learn from him. Excited to have him as a teammate. Lucky to have him as a teammate. I've lost some championships too, so I wouldn't want someone coming in reminding me of my losses. I won't be the one to remind him.
Quinton Post reveals what Stephen Curry did that mattered more than scoring. Quinton Post is quickly becoming one of the most intriguing young talents on the Golden State Warriors roster. In his rookie season, he quietly made a name for himself, shooting an impressive 40.8% from three-point range and averaging 8.1 points per game. As a modern stretch big, he's carved out a valuable role in the Warriors' rotation, and he's not done yet. During the preseason, Post continued to show his offensive potential, especially in a standout performance against the Portland Trail Blazers where he dropped 16 points, including 3 three-pointers. But when asked about his recent success, Post didn't take the credit for himself. Instead, he pointed to one major factor: Stephen Curry. "What you saw out there, that's just the effect of having Steph Curry on the floor," Post said. "He makes everything so much easier for everyone on offense. And defensively, I think we handled things much better than the last time we faced them." The game marked Curry's return after missing the previous matchup against the Lakers. And he didn't disappoint, putting up 28 points and leading the Warriors to a 118-111 win over Portland. "This was a big statement game for him," Post added. "He sat out last game, and then came back and just took over. He said something before tip-off that really stuck with me. But more than anything, it's his leadership, the way he sets the tone, that makes the biggest difference." While Curry leads the way offensively, Post is focused on improving where it really matters for his position: rebounding. Despite his offensive contributions, Post pulled down only 2 defensive rebounds in the game. Not enough, he admits, for a player in his role. "We did a better job controlling the pace, but we still had too many turnovers. And on defense, I'm not even sure what the rebounding numbers were. I just know I need to be better. That's my priority right now, becoming a more effective rebounder." Last season, Post faced criticism for his defensive inconsistency. He knows that if he wants to keep growing and solidify his role long-term, that's the area he has to improve. Fortunately, he's not doing it alone. With the mentorship of Al Horford, who shares a similar playing style as a stretch 5, Post is in the right environment to evolve. If he continues to develop, especially on the defensive end, Quinton Post could be a key piece in the Warriors' rotation for years to come. And with Steph Curry leading by example, he's got one of the best blueprints in the game to learn from. But what makes Post's comments so striking isn't just his humility, it's the deeper acknowledgement of how Stephen Curry continues to reshape the game without always needing to light up the scoreboard. For a young player like Post, recognizing the power of Curry's off-ball move, leadership, and court gravity shows a level of maturity that's catching the attention of coaches and analysts alike. Internally, sources close to the team say the coaching staff has been impressed with Post's approach during training camp. While his shooting numbers draw the headlines, it's his willingness to learn and take ownership of his weaknesses, like rebounding and defensive, that's earned him growing respect in the locker room. In particular, His openness about needing to improve on the glass has resonated with veterans like Draymond Green and Kevin Looney, who have both taken on mentoring roles with him in recent weeks. During practices, Post has been seen working closely with assistant coaches focusing on boxing out drills, rebounding reads, and interior footwork, a sign that he's committed to rounding out his game. Outside of the Warriors camp, Post's preseason performance and his comments about Curry sparked interest across NBA media. Analysts on national shows highlighted the quote about Curry making everything easier, using it as yet another example of the intangible impact the two-time MVP has on his teammates. Former players and commentators have also pointed out that this kind of awareness, especially from a rookie, is rare, and could signal that Post has the mindset to stick in the league. "You don't hear a lot of young bigs talking like that," said one analyst during a post-game breakdown. "He understands the game beyond just stats." That's huge. Looking ahead, the Warriors see Post as a potential long-term piece, someone who can eventually fill a similar role to Al Horford, a smart, versatile big who stretches the floor, moves the ball, and plays within the system. If he can elevate his rebounding and improve his defensive reads, he may even find himself closing games down the line. For now, though, Post remains focused on the next step. "There is still so much I need to work on," he said after the win over Portland. "But being around guys like Steph, Draymond, Looney, it's helping me grow faster. I just want to keep earning my minutes." As the regular season approaches, all eyes will be on whether Post can carry his preseason momentum into meaningful games. And if he does, with Curry still drawing defenders and opening lanes, the Warriors might have found a valuable new weapon hiding in plain sight.